Gemini. This is Crystal with Hattis Hierophant. I am your tarot reader. Gemini, I just want to say thank you so much for the amount of love and acceptance you all have given me. I had uploaded my first set of videos last month and I was so nervous about doing it, but you all just gave me so much love and light and I'm so grateful. I want to be able to give back in a way of offering one of you a complimentary reading. All you have to do is subscribe and comment below and I will write your name old school way on a piece of paper, put it in a bucket and choose someone at the end of the month. My hope is to announce it April 1st for April Fool's Day. I think that'd be awesome. So I hope it's you. So let's move on to your reading, Gemini. The center of your reading is the Page of Cups. And this is going to be your overall energy that's going to spill over into your moon energy and your ego energy and even in your immediate present. And with that Page of Cups energy, and I feel like this is going to be an opportunity, Gemini. It's going to be an opportunity to where we need to ask for forgiveness or someone's going to ask you for forgiveness. And I almost feel like it may be a child or maybe you're the child that need to ask the parent for forgiveness. But I feel like that this is going to be an opportunity to take advantage of it. And it's going to be the best one right now. What do I mean by that? I feel like it's just not in your favor to wait. So even if you are expecting this apology from this loved one, you should reach out first, okay? All right, so let's go to your moon energy. Your moon energy, and this is where we have our emotions and or where spirit is working in our favor. I have the Two of Cups with the Hanged Man and the Seven of Cups. So already I'm getting a couple of different energies here. So the first energy I'm getting, especially with this Two of Cups and this Hanged Man, I feel like, and even with the Seven of Cups, I feel like things just kind of got out of hand. I feel like that whatever happened in this relationship, and this was a relationship or partnership, whatever happened, you stopped talking, you stopped collaborating, like it stopped being the same. It was like, now that you look back on it, it just looks foolish. It looks chaotic. It's like, Gemini, I almost feel like we have to make up things just to justify not nurturing this relationship, right? And that's what that Hanged Man is all about. You got so caught up in all of this. And literally, I do feel like that you had to make things worse in your head, because when you would tell people the story of how come you don't talk to that person anymore, how come this particular family member, you don't fool with them anymore, right? It didn't sound bad enough to not talk to them, so you had to add a little salt to it, right? And then once you start doing that, all of a sudden that person is like, what? They did that to you? You know what? I wouldn't talk to them either. So it had gotten to the point to now, if you start talking to that person again, now you look like the fool. But little do they know, you added a little something to make it seem worse than what it was. So now it's just like, which cup do I empty first? Which one do I fess to? Or do I keep believing in this dragon that I put in that cup? Okay, Gemini? And not only is that Two of Cups, not only is it about a relationship, a collaboration, a partnership, it's all about making a decision. Someone decided to no longer participate. Was it you? Was it them? I don't know. Let's go to your Sun energy, my Gemini. I have the Eight of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. So whatever happened in that partnership, in that relationship, we definitely stepped away from it, but all we did was step away. Although I see him walking away, this is not the 5 of Pentacles. This is the 8 of Cups. You just stepped away from it. And I feel like, Gemini, in this respect, and again, I feel like this could either be you, or these roles might have to be reversed with someone who's in your immediate surroundings. But I feel like that we just stepped away. We stopped nurturing this relationship. We stopped, not necessarily we stopped caring, we started protecting ourselves more. So we felt like we had to step away from it. But what you're realizing is how much you stepped away from. And I feel like, for old time's sake, you took that cup that was here just so you could remember and pull it out every once in a while and say, I remember when. And this Knight of Pentacles is letting me know that even though these things have happened, Gemini, enough time has gone by. It is now time that we ease back into this person's life, into that relationship, into that partnership, and make that offer. And if it's not an offer of forgiveness, maybe it's at least an offer of, hey, can we just squash it? And with that 7 of Pentacles, you had so much time invested already. You had so much of you invested. Because sometimes it's not about time. You being a part of someone's life is investing. And you invest your love, you invest your time, you invest your transparency, right? That's a big deal. So you've done that. And I think it's time to turn back around, Gemini, and revisit it. So in your immediate present, I see the Queen of Pentacles along with the King of Wands that flank that Page of Cups. And I really do feel like it's family with this being in your immediate present. And Gemini, I feel like that, yeah, I got a half chill there. So what else could it be? Family. So there's something with family there. Maybe if I keep talking, I'll get to it. But that King of Pentacles, that King of Wands and that Queen of Pentacles, and that child right being in the center, I almost feel like that perhaps our parental unit, right? And that could be uncle, aunt, grandmother, grandfather, mother, father. Whatever our parental unit is or was, this kind of energy came in the middle of it, which had to do with this, right? And I feel like that this King of Wands thought, you know what? I need to protect my relationship. I need to protect my business. I need to protect this family unit, because although you are my child, my niece, my nephew, my granddaughter, I still have these responsibilities and obligations. And although you weren't presented with a choice, I feel like you made one. And I feel like this Queen of Pentacles energy almost hinted around that you had to make a choice, right? In a roundabout kind of way. And you made it. And now this Queen of Pentacles is realizing what he or she did. And they actually don't feel good about it. Let's expand here, my Gemini. Let's expand. I feel some really heaviness here. I feel like some regret. I feel like you don't know how to begin to mend that that relationship. You don't know how to get it back started because you're kind of like, I'm sure they hate my guts. I'm positive of it. And again, Gemini, you go back to creating these scenarios in your head that don't even exist. And that becomes your truth. All right, so let's expand here. Yeah. Yes, honey. All right, so let's expand on your Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups, you have the Temperance card. And that is Sagittarius energy along with the Four of Cups. And this is exactly how you're feeling, right? You feel like that you let this blessing, this relationship, like it was there. You had it. And you just let it go. And that's where this Temperance card comes in. Look, she's an angel, by golly. And you see how she's balancing spirit and earth between two cups. She has one foot on land and one foot in the water. That's all about love and emotion. And her crown is glowing in that sunshine in the distance. It is going to be a give and take. It is going to be a little bit of work. But like I said, I feel like now is the time. I feel like both parties or all parties involved are receptive. They're ready to receive. It's almost like a dry sponge, and you get this alchemist water and you just put that dry sponge in that alchemist water and they suck it up. And then when I expanded on that Seven of Cups, I have the Queen of Cups along with that Page of Swords. And again, I'm picking up on that energy from the Queen of Pentacles that was in your immediate present, who inadvertently made you make a decision. And that Queen of Cups is very loving. So it's almost like that energy didn't even realize what was happening and the decisions you were making, all because of their actions. And that Page of Swords is telling me that they kind of knew, right? But they really didn't think that you would choose them over, this family member, or over, I don't want to say family member, because some of us, for sure, it's a family member, but it's your person. They felt like that was your person. And they almost felt like they were competing with your person, right? This could be an ex-significant other. This could be, I still feel heavily that it's it's like a child or a niece or a nephew, but someone that you've kind of raised or that you were raised by, and they just never thought you would choose them. And they almost did it in an immature kind of way, like, right? I hate to say it, Gemini, we kind of fell for it. But you felt like you made the best choice, okay? So I expanded on that Hanged Man, and I got the Ten of Swords with the Eight of Wands. Oh, Gemini, if this is not telling you, this is all in your moon energy, honey, you want to talk to them so desperately. It's like you want, like, look at that. That is ding dong dead. This surrendering to all of this madness is ding dong dead. This is all about communication. Spirit is saying now is the time. The doors of receiving are open. Even if you were the one that was wronged, even if you feel like you were the one that was wronged, genuinely reach out, Gemini. Don't do that whole, back door around the corner, go through someone else to make the connection. It needs to come directly from you in real time. And even if you have to follow up for 8 straight days, do it because it's worth it. You have been heartbroken. Okay, let's go on to your Sun energy. Let's expand on this Eight of Cups and this Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Gemini, honey, do it. Do it. Listen, so we have this Eight of Cups. You have the Hierophant. I'm sorry, the High Priestess. I always say the Hierophant. Hattis Hierophant. It's in my brain. And then you have the Chariot card. So turn around, walk back, put that cup back up and say, listen, let's work this out. And Spirit is telling us, listen to your intuition. You know what, Gemini? You have been thinking about this person. And people have been asking about this person because now too much time has gone by to where now it just looks frippin' strange. To now even the stories we made up, the stories that we made ourselves believe, let's say that, those don't even sound like a big enough reason to have ended this relationship. So with that being said, the High Priestess, and I almost feel like, you know, she has this scroll of all knowing here, right? And I feel like that you've had a glimpse of it somehow. And I'm getting so incredibly emotional, Gemini. You have gotten a glimpse of what's on this scroll. And all of a sudden, you're like, are you terrified? Like, what did you see? Because it is encouraging you. It is calling you to move. I almost feel like it's calling you to get in your car and go see about this person. Physically get in your car and go. Right? And not only that, and this is Cancerian energy, right? And Cancerian energy is very family oriented and emotional, which is probably why I almost broke down in tears there, right? This, whatever's on this scroll has brought those things back up. And you have a new perspective. You have a new perspective. And if you go to that person, it's going to work out better than you think. They don't hate you. They're not sitting there thinking of horrible things that should happen to you. They're really, really, Gemini, they're really confused. Yes. They're really confused. They're trying to figure out in their heads, like, what did I do? To where they don't want anything to do with me anymore. They don't want anything to do with this anymore. They don't want to, be a part of this thing anymore. What happened? They're confused. So I expanded on that Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, my dear. Gemini, when it comes to fortune and just luck in that aspect, you are one of the luckiest in the zodiacs. It's true. And with that being said, and this all being together, so first of all, for sure, some of us can expect some payoff from some investments that we've made. Some of us are going to put some money in the slot machine and you're going to win some money. Yep, I see that. And some of us, this is an emotional jackpot. This is a relationship jackpot, to where we go back to all this time we put in and we bring passion back. We make an offer. We move forward and we get a karmic payoff. Right? But I do see some money for some of you. I know that's not something I typically like to say. But some of you are going to have a little payoff there. So More money, more problems, Gemini. I'm sorry, I'm a Biggie Smalls fan. All right, so let's expand on this Queen of Pentacles and this King of Wands. I'm going to stop right there, right? Remember how we were talking about this Queen of Pentacles and how, you know, she inadvertently had you make a decision, right? It was like, you know, it's either her or me. It's either him or me. It's either, you know, your niece or me, your husband, right? And maybe even to the point where either you moved away or they moved away. Like it just created this distance, right? So that King of Wands energy, when you made that decision, right? You thought it was going to lessen your burdens because you thought that once I make this Queen of Pentacles energy happy, once I, you know, give that energy what it needs, because that's what you thought you were doing. You thought you were doing the right thing. But at what cost? But at what cost? Right? It ended something. And because I see that in your immediate present, I feel like all of this is going to come back up. That perhaps you and this loved one who you made this decision for, you're going to say, I did this for you. And that Queen of Pentacles energy is going to be like, oh my gosh, like they kind of know that they hinted around, but at the end of the day, they were so convinced that you wouldn't choose them that to this day, until you actually bring it up, they did not realize that that's what you did. I want to expand on that. I want to see how this Queen of Pentacles feels now. So I feel like this Queen of Pentacles energy feels now. So I got the Nine of Cups along with the Ace of Swords and the Hermit card. I feel like that once the truth comes out, they are going to do whatever they can to help you bring this relationship back. It's almost like they're like, yes, I'm going to do everything I can to fix this. Okay? When you see that Ace of Swords, that's business. That's a yes. That's a let's go. I got your back. I got your six. Right? And this Hermit card is the reflection that this Queen of Pentacles energy is going to have to do for themselves. They're going to have to do some checks and balances. And really face a few things because of that decision that was made. So they are really thinking about their partner, you know, their part in that ending of that relationship. Yeah. Oh, this is, come on. The Emperor card, that's the daddy card. Ace of Pentacles. You just want to offer. You just want it to go back to where it was. I want my kids back. I want that relationship back. I want that business how it used to be when we were all fun and loving and laughing. Right? I'm sorry. That's going to happen in your immediate present if you use this window of opportunity, Gemini. With the Page of Cups being the center of your read, it's really all about you making that offer, whether you were in the wrong or not. Really, it's really not important at this point. We don't need this label of who was right and who was wrong. We need the label of just love. That's it. All right, so I'm just going to expand on this Page of Cups. I'm hoping I can get the energy of that relationship, of that child, of that niece, of that nephew, of that partner, of that son, of that daughter. Let's see if I can pick up on that energy. Okay. Gemini, 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 Gemini. So for some of us Geminis, we have a Capricorn child, right? For other of us Geminis, you were already dealing with some stuff. So it's not 100% that Queen of Pentacles, right? It wasn't their only doing as to why you made this decision. You were still trying to hide a certain something about yourself that you knew was closer and closer to getting out. And I got this World card, right? I can't stress enough how now is the time. That cycle of that relationship being severed is over, right? And I think the reason why I keep feeling like now is the time, because this is the energy of Saturn. And Saturn is all about responsibility and karma and doing the right thing. And when you don't, Saturn is also that energy of waiting at the house in the dark. So when you come in after curfew, they're about to tell you about yourself. You're grounded. Give me the keys to the car. You're no longer going out. I don't think you want what's on the other end of this cycle. And really, what's on the other end of this cycle is you not having this relationship. That's not a threat. It's like, are you okay with where things are now? You're not. That's obvious. So just do this small little gesture. And to round up your reading, that was on top of this Devil card, and the World card is the Magician. This is a messenger from God. The ultimate communicator. Right? It's the idea before the idea. Now is the time, Gemini. All right, my dear. I absolutely adore you. Remember to subscribe, make a comment, so I can choose one of you to give a reading to. Again, I'll be choosing that person at the end of the month, and I will announce them April 1st. And it will be my pleasure to give you a complimentary reading. Other than that, I absolutely adore you, and I will see you next month.